ahead.
everybody. This is David D'Arcangelo. I'm your host tonight with Mark Victor Hansen, co-creator of Chicken Soup for the Soul, with over 600 million copies sold. Mark is a Guinness Book of World Record holder and a good friend of mine. And the telling thing I say about Mark is a prolific entrepreneur. He leads the Mark Victor Hansen Library, and as you become successful, you may have the privilege of having your biography written by the Mark Victor Hansen Library. So Mark continues, you look at somebody and you see them as just energetic, brilliance. I always say Mark continues to create new ventures and inspire, which I think is really important. And the reason I'm here is to help others create financial freedom in their life. Welcome to the program, Mark.
Listen, our friendship has been 30 years, and unless you remind me of something I don't remember, we've never had a fight or an argument. And we want more for you tonight than you want for yourselves. And we're going into America's golden age. This is the most exciting time to be alive, and you want to be exciting with leadership that leads from the front. Like what Elon Musk has done with 8 multi-billion-dollar companies, David and I and Stuart and a few other people are leading this absolutely from the front. And we're going to take you places you didn't even know you could do. And we're open already in 100 countries. And it's just going to keep getting better. And you're going to make fortunes and have experiences that luckily David and I have traveled around the world sometimes together and, had wonderful times. And we want those for you because there's no shortage of supply. There's infinite. And there's 8.4 billion people that need excited for you watching because you're going into your happy days. The harvest is coming, and David and Stu and I and a few other people, Jim, have set it up for you that you just can't miss if you work with this.
Hey, Mark, I get my announcement is big. You are now an advisor and involved in xosialX, also a shareholder of xosialX. So thank you. We all appreciate having you. But what's really intriguing to me and the people who are watching right now is you and your family members have joined xosialX on the business associate side.
Absolutely.
You're involved with NuCalm as an advisor to NuCalm as separate from xosialX.
Yes.
Why'd you align with NuCalm?
First of all, Jim Poole is a genius. He was a Wall Street genius and did genius things. And then he was having a problem with anxiety and he couldn't sleep. And he found this great guy who had figured out how there's only 4 frequencies in the brain. And if you get to the right frequency, you can relax, you get rid of anxiety, you get rid of worry, or you can go straight to sleep. Now, I use, and it's all done digitally in the phone, which I love because now it goes with me everywhere. There's not been a day in the 10 years that I've been with Jim as a friend and a partner that I haven't used one of the programs or more, but we got a program called Rescue almost every afternoon by midday. I've talked to 5 or 10 people or written a book or two, and my mind is a lot of us calls it storming. My mind is going, and you know that because you and I are close friends.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
We form a lot of ideas. And I go take 20 minutes, I come back and I'm 100% back. That's what's so critical at Rescue. But then
why xosialX? We got NuCalm. Why the connection to xosialX?
We're at the first time in history when we can communicate literally with 8.4 billion people. And like I said, we're in 100 countries already. So for the first time in history, each of us can have infinite influence. And Solomon said in Psalm 72, your job is to be an influencer of influencers. And if you got something good, then the greatest amongst you is servant of all. And you got to sell, and sell comes out of a Danish word. I'm of Danish descent. To sell means to serve. And so if you're serving greatly and you're having influence, you can do more for everyone and you get paid. You get paid a little on a whole lot. And we're going to have, Stu has told you and I on calls that we've done with him, we've already got one guy is doing millions, and we're going to have a lot of people making $1 million a year and then pretty soon $1 million a month just because it's there. Nobody's ever done it because we're blending 3 things. One is we got leadership that leads. That's first thing.
Yeah.
And where there's no leadership, without vision, people perish. Solomon said, but translated with vision, we flourish. We are flourishing because all of us have a big vision. I mean, I wrote the book. how to
Right.
think bigger than you ever thought you could think. So, and I've sold more books than anybody in nonfiction alive, as far as I know, and the record doesn't seem to change. So I'm going to keep my belief system, and I'm going to sell a billion books for other people. So we're cooking with, like, Proverbs is just going to sell 10 million just like that. It's so
Yeah.
exciting to see it. But we're going to do the same thing with Social X, because everybody is coming here because everybody wants wisdom. Everybody wants sleep. Everybody wants infinite health. Everybody wants infinite functionality. And you and I are going to help lead this
Yeah.
with a mastermind. Now, talked about, you get to use my name. You say, if you don't feel comfortable talking to somebody big and you think they would be good at selling this and using it as a multiple, remember what I wrote in this book is, you got to have multiple sources of income. Bob Proctor and I came up with the idea, and then Bob Allen and I ended up writing this book on multiple streams of income. Because if you only got one stream of income, it's called a job, a just over broke. I mean, a job.
Yeah.
And and,
Yeah.
and
So
go ahead.
yeah, so there's a question everybody has to answer: is this it? Did I is this it? I found it. How do people spot a product? Do you believe that you spotted a product poised for massive growth when you have that synergy between NuCalm and xosialX?
100%. When Crystal and I tested the rescue for, we thought 20 minutes, how could that change your life? Both, she is, I call her the goddess of exquisiteness. She is the most wonderful, wise woman I've ever met in my life. And I had 267 things I needed in my ideal wife, and she hit every one of them. But we tried rescue and it worked. And I thought, well, that was one off. Maybe it won't work. So then next day we did. And the next day, now we will never go without it or deep sleep, one of our products, and who you want to meet. And the list that David and I are going to ask you, and he's modified this if he wants, because I didn't quote this to him earlier. I want you to write down a list of at least 100 people that you want to talk to. Some of them are going to be relatives. I've already talked to all my relatives. I've got them into this because I'm a true, to use, some of you read that great book called True Believer by Eric Hoffer, but I'm a true believer in Social X. You got $1 million and you're on a dead island and there's nothing to buy, you're useless. Happiness comes out of service. Happiness comes out of contribution. Happiness comes out of thinking charitably. Happiness comes out of doing stuff that no one else has ever thought of. Happiness is having a magnificent obsession to do one of the grand ventures in life. I mean, here, we're going to give you the opportunity. This is a smorgasbord, a good Danish term, right? So you got a choice of all these things we got. Just tell your friends about them because you're using them, and you be a product of the product, and you're going to accelerate, because every time somebody gets it, they're going to come back and give you stuff. Those testimonials you're going to talk about, those endorsements you're going to talk about. We're going to keep doing these videos like this. We're going to answer every question you could possibly have, because we're fearless, because we know we got what it takes right now. This is the golden time. This is the golden company.
We're looking for a phenomenal future together. There's a lot of people who have goals and objectives. We really want to, teach, train, and duplicate along the way so that everybody has the opportunity to reach their peak mental and physical capability. So thank you for being on today, and we look forward to having you back. You're a wizard and a great friend, and
Thank you.
a partner here at xosialX and NuCalm. So thank you very much, Mark.
My pleasure.